Hello there. In this video, I will go over homework number 3, solve linear system by graphing. Okay, so we know a linear system is when you are given two linear equations. So here are your two linear equations. And when you say solve linear system, that means you're trying to find the solution to the system, which is when you are graphing, it is the point of intersection. Point of intersection. Where the two lines cross. So to find the solution to this system, all you have to do is to graph the first equation, graph it, and then graph the second equation, graph it, and then you find the point of intersection or where the two lines cross. The solution would be the x and y coordinates of that point of intersection. Okay, so let's get started. Let's graph the first equation. We know to graph, we have a linear equation. We need the b value and the m value. So your equation, I will remind you that first you have to make sure that your equation is written in the form y equals mx plus b. Because if it's written in this format, you can easily pull out your b value and the m value. So let's see, is the first equation written in that format? Well, this is y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2. So yes, this is written in y equals mx plus b form. So I can easily pull out my b. The b value is the number by itself. So this is the b value for the first equation. The number by itself not attached to x, being added to x. So the b value is 2. And we say that b for begin, we begin at 2 on the y-axis. So on the y-axis, I'm going to plot a point at 2. That's your starting point. And then I'm going to move. So m stands for move. So we're going to move depending on the slope, the m value, the number in front of x. Okay, so this one, the number in front of x, the coefficient of x is negative, and then 1/3. And then you're going to ask yourself, wait a second, there's one negative right in the middle. Where does that go? Well, you can put the negative on the top, or you can put it in the bottom, like that. It doesn't really matter, but you have to make sure that you only have one negative. You cannot have two negatives, because if you have two negatives, then that would mean positive, because a negative divided by a negative will give you a positive answer, and that will be different from your negative fraction here. Okay, so remember that when you only have one negative, you can move that negative either on the top or either on the bottom. It doesn't really matter, but you only have one negative. So if I do this, that means I'm gonna go up 1 and then 3 to the left, because it's negative 3. So I'm gonna do that, up 1 and then 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. So that's my second point. And then I'm just gonna connect those 2 points like so. And then I'm gonna extend that. Okay. Next, I'm gonna graph the second line. So this one, again, let's check if this is written in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. This is y equals negative 2x minus 3. So yes, this is written in slope-intercept form because y is by itself on one side. So we can pull out the b. The b value is the number by itself here. So the b value is negative 3. So that means on the y-axis, I'm going to start at negative 3. I'm going to put a point right there. Now I'm going to move. I'm going to move by using the slope, the number in front of x. So the number in front of x here is negative 2. That's actually negative 2 over 1 because your slope must be in fraction form because it's rise over run. So negative 2 means you're going to go down 2, and then positive 1 means you're going to go 1 over. So let's do that. We're starting at negative 3 because that's the b value for equation 2. From negative 3, we're going to go down 2, and then 1 to the right. Again, just like what I was telling you earlier, this one you have 1 negative in your fraction, right? So I can actually rewrite that as 2 over negative 1. As long as I only have 1 negative, I am not changing my fraction. So I can actually do up 2 and then 1 to the left. So from the starting point again, remember from the starting point, up 2 and 1 to the left. Right there. So once you have your points, you're going to connect the points. Let's connect those points. Let me use a different line color, this one. So right there. Remember, you don't stop here because if you stop here, then you won't see the intersection. Because remember, the solution is where the two lines cross. If you stop right here, then you won't see the point of intersection. That's why you have to extend your line using your ruler. You just extend it over here and you can see that, oh, they're crossing right here. So the solution to this would be the x and y coordinates of that point, which is, let's see, from the origin, you move 3 to the left, so that's negative 3. And then 3 up, so negative 3, comma 3. So that is the solution to this system over here. Okay, so let's move on to problem number 6. So again, I have two equations. I have to find the b value. But before I do that, I have to make sure that my equation is written in the form y equals mx plus b. The y must be by itself on one side. So let's inspect these equations. The first one, is this written in slope intercept form? Is the y by itself? Yes. What about the second one? Y equals. Yes. So we're good. Now all we have to do is to find the b value where we will begin. So let's look at the first equation. So the b value is the number by itself. So in equation 1, that is 3. So that means on the y-axis, you're going to start at 3. That's your first point. Now you're going to move to your second point by using the m for move. The number in front of x. Oh, this one again, we have a negative right in the middle. Right in the middle. Remember, we talked about this earlier. If we have one negative in front of a fraction, that negative can go on top, negative 1 over 4, or it can go on the bottom. It doesn't matter as long as you only have one negative. So let's say I want to do this. So negative 1. So that means I'm going to go 1 down and then 4 to the right. So from here, 1 down, 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my second point. I'm going to connect those points. That's the graph for equation number 1. Now let's move on to equation number 2. Let's see. let's pull out the b value. The b is the number by itself, the constant, so this is negative 2 because it's minus 2. So the b is negative 2. That means on the y-axis, I'm going to plot a point at negative 2. And then I'm going to move to my next point by looking at the number in front of x, the slope. Oh, this one again, you have a negative right in front of your fraction. So when you have one negative, you can put that on the top, your numerator, or you can put that negative in your denominator. It doesn't really matter. So let's see. So from beginning point for the second equation is at negative 2. If I use this one, I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, then 2 to the right. If I use this one, I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 to the left, 1, 2. Right there. As you can see, the points are still aligned with each other because they're equal. So once you have that, you can now connect your points to draw your line. Again, remember, you don't stop here, okay? You have to extend that because you're trying to find the point of intersection. So extend that right there. As you can see, these 2 points are crossing right here. Let's use a different color. Right here. So the solution would be the coordinates of this point, which is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to the left, so that's negative 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 4, so that's positive 4. So the solution to this system is negative 4 and positive 4. All right, next problem. So again, find the solution. So we have to graph each line. So let's pull out the b value for the first one. The b value, oh, first let's figure out if this is written in y equals mx plus b form. Y equals yes. Y equals yes. Okay, so the b is the number by itself. So this is negative 3, which means on the y, I'm going to plot a point at negative 3. That's my starting point for the first equation. I'm going to move to my second point by looking at the number in front of x, which is 4 over 3. This one is no negative, so they're both positive. So you can go 4 up and then 3 to the right. So 4 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, right here. Once you have your points, you can connect the points. Remember, you want to extend it. You don't just connect those 2 points, you extend it. Right there. Okay, next, let's move on to the next equation. Oh, this one is just y equals 1. So there's no x term, which means you're just going to plot a point right here on the y-axis at 1. And this is going to be a horizontal line. So when you have y equals some number, that's a horizontal line at y equals 1. So right here, so horizontal line. There. So where are the 2 lines crossing at? Right here. They're crossing at this point. Choose a different color. So the point of intersection, so we say the solution is at, what's that? 3, 1. That's the solution to that system. All right, the last one. So again, we have 2 equations. We have to plot this graph one at a time. So make sure that it's written in the form y equals mx plus b. Is this written in y equals mx plus b? Yes, y is by itself. What about the second one? Y equals 4x plus 2? Yes. So since it's written in slope-intercept form, we can pull out the b. The b value for the first one is -4, which means on the y-axis, I'm going to plot a point at -4. And then I'm going to move to my next point by using the value in front of x, which is the slope. And I have -2 here, which means I'm going to write it as -2 over 1. So -2 means you're going to go down 2 and then 1 to the right. So let's do that. Well, this one, if I go down 2, I won't have any space. So let's try to manipulate this equation. Remember, when you have one negative in your fraction, that negative can go at the bottom. So you can have -1 and then +2 on the top, which means you're going to go up 2 and then 1 left. Let's do that. Up 2, 1, 2, 1 left. You can do that again. Up 2 and 1 left. Once you have your points, go ahead and connect the points. Let's do that. Okay, so we're done with equation 1. Then let's move on to equation 2. So the b value for equation 2 is the number by itself. The constant is 2. That means on the y-axis, I'm going to plot a point at 2. And then I'm going to move on to my next point by using the number in front of x, which is, this case is 4. I have to write it as 4 over 1, which tells me I'm going to go up 4 and then 1 to the right. But then again, look at this. If you go up 4, there are no more grid over here. No more grids. So you can manipulate this thing again. +4 over 1 is that the same thing as -4 over -1. When you divide -4 and -1, you will get 4. +4, correct? The same as 4 divided by 1. So this is also correct, which means you can actually go down 4 and then 1 left. Okay, so let's do that. Starting at the b value of +2, gonna go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1 to the left. Oh, right there. Oh, right away you can see the point of intersection. So go ahead, connect those 2 points and then extend. Okay, as you can see, the point of intersection is right here. So all we have to do is to write the coordinates of that point, which is, so 1 left, -1, 2 down, -2. So that's the solution to your problem number 8. Okay, so there you go. That's how you solve linear system by graphing. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you.